Yo, what's poppin', y'all? This just got crazy. A leaked tape from the Young Thug interrogation has surfaced online, and fans are saying he flat out exposed himself. I'm talking about actual audio where Thug is sitting in a room with detectives, breaking down lyrics, dropping names, and talking in a way that has people screaming, "Snitch." And here's the wild part. This is the same guy who's been calling other rappers rats who helped push Gunna into the snitch corner, now getting blasted with his own words. This is bigger than a blog headline. This could flip how people look at Thug, YSL, even the whole rap street code conversation. And trust me, the details in this tape are crazier than the headlines. So sit tight, because by the end of this, you're gonna see why this leak has the whole culture debating. So let's start with what exactly leaked. This ain't a rumor. It's audio from back in 2015 when police were investigating the Lil Wayne tour bus shooting in Atlanta. In the tape, you hear Young Thug explaining Wayne's lyrics to detectives, connecting dots between Wayne, Birdman, and Peewee Rosco. At one point, Thug literally breaks down Wayne's bar, "Cash Money's an army, I'm a one-man army, going out like Tony," and explains it to the cops like he's doing Rap Genius for them. Now, why is this such a big deal? Because Thug wasn't just sitting there in silence. He was talking, he was explaining, he was giving context. And when you've built your brand on the idea that real ones don't talk, that's a problem. The clip hit Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at once.
I remember his name Alex, he owned a club, clubs or something. And he was telling Roscoe like he couldn't come in. But Wayne walked past and he was like, "What's up, Roscoe?" But I don't know how true it was. I just heard it. Yeah. You know, you hear a lot of shit in the street. You heard, they said Roscoe my manager, Roscoe my road manager, Roscoe my brother. My mama had no damn Roscoe.
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Let me ask you this till we gotta go. Why would Roscoe say you told him to do it, the shooting?
Roscoe ain't said a damn thing.
You sure?
Roscoe.
How do you know that?
You know.
Oh, let me, what he said that?
You gonna take
I'm asking you, man. Hey, how long is court? Do we know how long court is?
I have no idea.
Would you be willing to talk with us after court? Okay.
I didn't take it.
Hey, sir, how long is court?
Big outlets, blogs, reaction channels, everybody's playing the tape and dissecting it frame by frame. The general vibe? Shock. People can't believe Thug was this comfortable explaining details in an interrogation. To really get why this is explosive, you gotta rewind. In 2015, Lil Wayne and Birdman were beefing heavy. Wayne was suing for money, Carter 5 was stuck, and things were heated. Thug, meanwhile, was blowing up, tied to that same Cash Money circle. Then the bus shooting happens in Atlanta. Shots hit Wayne's tour bus. Luckily, no one was killed, but it was serious. Police linked it to Peewee Rosco, someone in Thug's orbit. Rosco ends up getting convicted and handed 20 years, though he only served a few before getting released early. That's the case tied to this tape. Police brought Thug in during that investigation, and instead of clamming up, the leaked audio shows him giving detectives context about Wayne and Birdman's issues, about Rosco, about lyrics. It's not a one-word, talk to my lawyer type of vibe. It's detailed. That's why it's resurfacing now as a smoking gun. So what do we hear? Let me break it down. Thug tells detectives about Wayne's mixtape where he rapped those Scarface lines. He points out that everyone knew Wayne was basically calling out Birdman, and that's why tension rose. He even says people were talking like, "Oh, you owe him money," putting Wayne and Birdman's money issues right in front of the cops. He name drops Peewee Rosco. At one point, he says he doesn't want to block the case by saying Rosco didn't do it. But that phrasing right there is what caught fire. Critics say that sounds like he's distancing himself from defending Rosco while still trying to be useful to the cops. He also tells them he'll share more if they don't let it leak to the world. That's another part people couldn't get past. It sounded like, "I'll talk, just don't make it public." That's not something you can just explain away in the streets. And then there's the little things. Him casually saying Rosco sold Wayne weed, or giving detectives background like he's just chopping it up. Even if those details seem small, there's still information cops didn't have until he spoke. The reason this matters isn't because the DA used the footage in court. It's because of the culture. Rap culture has drawn a line in the sand for decades. If you sit with cops, you don't talk. Anything you say can be flipped on you. Silence is the only answer. Thug didn't stay silent. And worse, he's been one of the loudest voices calling others out. Remember, he straight up blackballed Gunna after Gunna's plea deal. He told other rappers not to work with him. He let the Gunna is a rat narrative run. He even called non-street rappers like Kid Cudi rats for testifying about crimes that affected them. So when your own tape comes out showing you giving context to cops, that's not just a leak, that's hypocrisy. And fans are eating it alive. Here's where it gets messy. What even counts as snitching? For some people, it's any words in an interrogation. If you're in that room, the only phrase should be lawyer. For others, it's not snitching unless someone actually gets locked up because of your words. There's even a middle camp who says paperwork or court testimony is the only true ratting. This tape sits in that gray zone. Thug didn't testify, he didn't write a statement, but he talked for hours. And he gave details. That's why people are split. But again, the consistency matters more than the technical definition. If you slammed Gunna for saying yes ma'am in court, how do you excuse breaking down Scarface lyrics to detectives? That's the question haunting fans right now. Peewee Rosco himself has stepped up to defend Thug. He says Thug didn't put him on the scene, didn't tie him to a crime, and even tried to help. Rosco claims the internet is twisting the story. But here's where it gets weird. In one of his own defense clips, Rosco literally says Thug did what a quote tax-paying citizen would do, then instantly corrects himself to quote what a real street dude would do. That slip had people clowning him hard, saying he basically admitted Thug told, then tried to cover it up. Still, Rosco is loyal. He already did years for this. He says Thug paid his legal fees, looked out for him, and never gave him up. That's his story, and you gotta respect someone defending the guy who supported them. But for the culture, that doesn't erase the audio. Now let's zoom out. Remember when Gunna got out, everybody called him a snitch. Rappers unfollowed him, Lil Baby distanced himself, collabs dried up. Now the tables are turning. People are side-eyeing Baby and others like, you cut Gunna off but you're still rocking with Thug when his tape sounds worse? It's putting artists in awkward spots. At the same time, Gunna's thriving. He's touring, charting, and fans are slowly warming back up because the narrative is shifting. This leak actually helps him. It makes his plea look lighter compared to Thug's talking. Some people think Gunna's PR is even fueling this resurfacing, but that's speculation. What's real is that the snitch energy is bouncing back onto Thug, and it's damaging his rep more than Gunna's right now. Here's what people forget. Thug isn't just any artist right now. He's on probation with strict conditions. 15 years of walking a tightrope. He can't be in Atlanta, he can't diss people, he can't be around certain associates. This tape by itself doesn't mean jail. It's old, but the drama it sparks is dangerous. Every time Thug reacts, every sub he throws, every IG story could get read back in a courtroom as a violation. If the DA's already watching him, this is the exact kind of media circus that makes them dig deeper. The worst case scenario isn't the snitch label, it's him slipping up under probation because the internet keeps baiting him. Let's be real, the way this story blew up isn't random. Big YouTubers like Traplore Ross pushed it first, then hip-hop pages picked it up, then it snowballed. Once it hit Fearbuck, academics, and the Shade Room type accounts, it was everywhere. Now everyone has a side. Thug's camp calls it old news, says it's PR warfare. Gunna's camp stays quiet but benefits. The blogs don't care, they just want clicks. At the end of the day, perception is reality online. If the loudest voices keep calling it snitching, that's how it'll stick in the culture, even if lawyers in court say otherwise. Let's zoom out even more. Thug has always been polarizing. Some people see him as a genius innovator, others see him as reckless. This tape adds a new wrinkle to his legacy. 10 years from now, when people talk about Thug, are they gonna remember the music first or the leaked tape where he explained Wayne's lyrics to cops? Rap history is full of these moments. People still bring up Tekashi 6ix9ine snitching years later. People still debate T.I. over paperwork. That rat tag doesn't fade easy. And if this sticks, it could stain how Thug is remembered, no matter how good the music is. Here's where I stand. If you live by the street code, this tape looks bad. There's no way around it. He talked, he gave context, and he asked them not to leak it. That's telling, plain and simple. But I also think the internet's addicted to hypocrisy. We love catching someone slipping, especially someone who set rules for others. Thug made Gunna's life hell over a plea deal. Now he's getting roasted for doing the very thing he condemned. That's karma. At the same time, music history shows fans forgive if the product is undeniable. If Thug drops a classic, this won't erase the tape, but it will soften the blow. If he stays silent and disciplined, he might ride this out. But if he keeps reacting, keeps dissing, keeps posting, this will get worse. So that's where we're at. A leaked interrogation tape from 2015 has resurfaced. Fans say Young Thug told. Rosco defends him. The internet debates definitions. And the whole snitch label war has flipped on its head. But what do you think? Does this tape prove Thug snitched? Or is it being twisted by blogs and PR? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos, and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.